here. I'm so interested in seeing what him and Quinn Ewers do this year. There's been so much hype.
We should have a pretty dangerous running back in Blake Corum.
Maryland's gone. Talia tagged by Loa.
Yeah.
A little too backyard football is
What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? It is your boy Sean Spencer, one half of that dynamic duo that is Let's Talk Football. And ladies and gentlemen, it's Tuesday, baby. And you know what that means. I'm here with my guy, from up north, boy, the host of Restoring the Roar, Mr. Alex Loosemore. What up, Alex?
not too much, man. Really excited for the topics we got tonight, including how flipping close we are.
Yes.
We're gonna blank and it's gonna be here. Obviously talking to my big guys tonight, so I'm excited about that. And excited to give the update on this Mascot madness. Getting to the national championship week here.
Woo-wee. Does Sparty make it? Let's
You'll
go.
have to wait and see.
Can't wait. What is up, Scott? Saying first, how's it going, my guy? Hope all is well. Well, yes, welcome to Let's Talk College Football. And like my guy Alex alluded to, we are a hop, skip, and a jump away. A week ago, it was 45 days. Alex, today it is 38 days.
Man.
Come on.
Oh, so like it's crazy because I was thinking about it today at work, and I was like kind of planning out my weekends, and I was like, hey, I've got stuff this weekend, next weekend, and I was like, oh crap, there's only like three, four more weekends till I got to get ready for this again. Like
Exactly.
We're what, 5 weekends away.
Oh my goodness, man! You do not even understand the joys. Went and I've been driving up and down the road with work, and then helping Kat and everything like that, and going past different colleges, going past different areas, and just kind of feeling that fall. Well,
yeah,
not feeling the fall yet. Still hot,
yeah.
But just imagining. It's right around the corner. It's right here, and I couldn't be more excited for it. Let's get it started, man.
Yeah, we went to a comedy festival here in Edmonton, and it was down where I used to practice when I was playing for that last team I played for. It was right down in there, and it was the first time I've been back on those fields since I was playing. Ooh. And it brought back so many really cool memories, and it was like, man, 2 weeks from now I'd be getting ready to like start fall camp, and yeah, it was really cool.
You said, suit me up, coach. I'm ready.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man. Oh, Scott. He said, don't forget to vote for Truman the Tiger. God, suiting up.
I mean, that poll's still there. You could probably go vote for him still.
Yep. Shout out to Misador. Said, let's talk football. So that excludes the Tar Heels. Freaking hoop school. Wow. We coming for the ACC this year. Let's get it started. I like this. Let the trash talk begin. Hey, listen, it is July 2023. Like we said, under 40 days until the new season starts. But it's also a year to the month when the game that we've been waiting for, the college football franchise, is back. They're bringing it back next year. For those of you that are diehard video gamers and NCAA football gamers, you know the last game that was available is NCAA 14, who at least 2 or 3 people that we're close to are still highly involved into and getting into this. Yeah. But, hey, we're a year away. Alex, I mean, I'm excited for the regular football season, but I can't lie, man. I am overjoyed about this, man. This is what I want.
Yeah, well, I'm hoping that comment that just came up is not true. I'm really hoping they don't screw this up. Now, I mean, everything I've been hearing is essentially the people that are making Madden are not touching this game, which is a very good thing as somebody that's bought Madden every year for the past decade plus. Yeah. keep those guys away. There's so much pressure, I feel like, with this game because it's going to be 11 years since the last game.
Yep.
I know you're probably right there with me that I didn't think we were ever getting another college game.
Oh, no.
So I was kind of glad the Michigan guy was on the cover, Denard Robinson. And I loved that game the way it was. So I was kind of like, okay, if this is the last one, it was kind of a good way to go. So I mean, I'd be happy if they literally just copy and pasted that game and just added today's graphics. But
exactly. Well, I mean, it shows by how much we still play it to this day and different variations of it. I mean, it's a game that stands the test of time. And I think you made the great point that we didn't think this day was ever going to come. Much like Washington fans with Dan Snyder. We didn't think the day was coming. It's so close.
Yeah, we're right there for that too.
Right there. But, I mean, honestly, I think the best advice to give the gamers is build a game as if you're not going to be able to build another one, like they did with NCAA 14. It literally stands a test of time. We play. I still get as excited or as frustrated as you and I have mentioned in our group chat.
Yeah. Yes.
Real quick, by the way, since we're talking about it, I transferred from North Carolina, obviously the powerhouse. I am now at BYU. Had an okay first year, but I had a bunch of seniors, especially at quarterback. They all left. I have one senior left. I got a transfer quarterback, and I had one other guy that was a 41 overall. So I'm going with one quarterback this year.
Ouch.
Not excited about that one. Not excited. Oh, man. Wait, Miss Dora said, if they don't have Bill Walsh commenting, bring that back.
I'd rather them get Gus and Joel.
Ooh.
That's the best
college
football commentary group in the game today.
Oh, yeah.
I would love that. But I mean, you also can't go wrong with Reese Davis and Kirk Herbstreit again. Like that's an iconic duo.
Exactly.
I think that's probably what we'll get. Yeah. But I mean, and that's not a bad thing at all.
Well, I think that's a perfect segue because I think that leads into 5 things that we hope will be added into the game. And I thought we could start because honestly, there's a number of things, but I think that point that you made with the announcers makes a great point as an honorable mention. I would love to see it if maybe there was a different announcer for each of the games. Maybe not each of them, but maybe you had the main games with Kirk and Reese, and then maybe you had a side group or, Gus and, somebody else a little important on the side. I honestly wouldn't even mind it if maybe for some features they had like a Keith Jackson dub or something where it like brings it back. You know what I mean? But different announcers and stuff, I think would help. I think that would help the game.
Yep.
What do you think? Anything before we get into any honorable mentions? Anything that you think is just missed your list?
Well, that was it for me. And I mean, obviously, in my dream scenario, it would be a lot like the broadcasts are nowadays. You'd have your big noon game would be Gus and Joel. There'd be one game every week on that schedule that is Gus and Joel. And then you'd have your certain conferences with their certain networks. You wouldn't necessarily do the networks on the game, all of them, but have different sets of commentators. Even if it's not the real life guys, even if it's just generic people, if it's a different set of people with a different set of lines, the game doesn't get blend nearly as quick, right? So exactly. Just kind of change it up on that aspect. That would be mine that just missed.
Yeah. No, I agree with that. I like this one. Misor says the high school development to build the players in career mode. Yes, I like this. Bringing it, making it. That was one of my honorable mentions. A deeper my player mode. Bring back I think it was in the maybe early 2000s when they had it where you can actually do look at him in his dorm room and kind of
that's one of my settings. Yeah.
So look, let's start there. Well, let's start with just giving go down the list 5 to 1, and we'll each just do one at a time. So we'll start with 5. What is your 5th that you would like them to add into it?
So I kind of meshed my 5th and my honorable mention. My honorable mention was just more commentators. My 5th was Gus and Joel. That's what I want. I mean, Michigan plays so many games on that big noon kickoff where I've just gotten used to those guys. So I'm just like, I'd love to have those guys as the commentators in the game.
Yeah. No, absolutely. I think one year they did do that. I dove into Dynasty. I don't.
I'll get into that later on.
Cool.
With that other
there
topic.
We go. My number 5 is, a lot of my other things are into Dynasty. This one I wanted just to be about the play. Late hits. There are so many times where I'm running down the sidelines and then I'm just running and all of a sudden somebody just takes the deep and they're just sliding. It just goes along with the engine of the game. But it's like, man, there are no late hit penalties. Like, now there's roughing the passer, but I'm talking about going along the sidelines and things. Or
you go in the end zone and 5 seconds later your guy's getting mauled. Like,
exactly. Exactly. You know what I mean? So I want that. That was my number 5 on it. Just, something like that, but something to be like, oh, what's going on?
I like it. Yeah.
So, going down the list, we'll go to 4. I'll stop. I'll go with this one. The one thing that I do think they should add from Madden is the ability to block kicks and field goals and extra points. That part of the game I love so much because, the special teams factor, the whole thing, but it's almost impossible except in, Madden, they started to be able to do it where you're able to hug the corners and get down in there. But blocking kicks and punts, you can send everybody up on the line. You're never able to do that. So that's something I hope they switch that up. What's your number 4?
That's a good one. For me, it's just enhance those home atmospheres. You've got the whiteout at Penn State. You've got Virginia Tech. You've got the Big House. You've got all these massive stadiums with all these big-time fields for all these games. Georgia, being one of them. Autzen Stadium for Oregon. Like, you've got so many of these massive schools with that massive home field advantage. Make it worth something in these games. Make it play Enter Sandman at the start of the Virginia Tech games. Like, have some of these intros from these legendary intros from these schools. Have it in the game. Have it just give it that feel of the realism of college football. Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. I love that one.
There we go. Yeah. There we go.
All the sound, sometimes in 14, the last one, NCAA 14, you can see there's some of the things where they'll hit the signs or, they'll run through the tunnel and, those things. That's cool. But yeah, give me the whole thing. Give me the hype. And, obviously you have an option to skip it and go through, but let me watch it and just watch the lights go out and, give me that feel.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
So with that, my 3 is similar to that. So my 3 is the extra stuff after the game or before the game. The coach is getting carried off the field, maybe after the game interview, or you see the coach get doused with Gatorade or something like that.
Rushing the field after a big upset.
Right. Yeah. Don't get ahead of me. But the more after the effect, obviously you get through a game. Sometimes you just click, and just trying to get, back to the other screens and whatnot. But sometimes when you're sitting there after the game, like, give me something exciting. You just had a big win. You just made a great thing. Oh yes. Let me sit back and watch, the coach getting, cheered on, everybody hugging, like that. Like, I think I like that. I want that.
Yeah. I like
what
that.
What about
you? So my next one is just kind of an overall dynasty one. We play dynasty all the time. So give me the transfer portal like we have nowadays. Do the 2 different timings for transfer portals, up the recruiting, even make it possible to do like an extra year, like recruit a year in advance, or like just kind of overhaul the recruiting transfer portal and just kind of give more control to what it, I guess more of the realism like I was just talking about before.
Yeah.
give it more insight for people to see what it's really like to kind of run one of these schools.
Ooh, I like that. I like that a lot. What is your number 2?
So this kind of goes off my keep it as far away from Madden as possible. Do not put Ultimate Team in this damn game. Keep it far away from that.
Yep.
I mean, it's not gonna happen because they make all their money off those micro purchases and all that, or microtransactions. But just don't. If you're gonna put that in the game, please don't make that the main focus of the game and the end all be all of the game.
Yep.
Because that's what's killed Madden. So don't do it. Please don't do it. Just keep it out of the game.
For me, that's something I don't even play. I don't collect the cards. I don't do any of that stuff. It's pointless to me. So I'm right there with you on that. For me, my number 2 is bring back the ESPN covers. I think it was in 2005 or 6. Like when you come into the home screen and everything, and had the cover, with a random player on there and say this, they upset them or something. And you can actually go and look into there. But also on top of that, in some of the basketball games, I think it was College Hoops, like 2008 or something, like 2K8, one of those old games. What they would do is they would have like on regular TV, they'd have like a Wednesday night where it was a college basketball show, and they would just show highlights. Now they would be just generic highlights on there, but it would still be cool to watch the highlights. And they upset this guy. He had 20 points and blah, blah, blah. That would be
like the NFL 2K games, the old ones where they'd have Boomer run through the weekend. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Yep. Bring that back so that we kind of have it where you can watch that if you want to and kind of watch other plays. But even in NCAA 14, they have it where they cut to, this team is upsetting that team. Show me a touchdown. Show me highlights from it as they go, like they do it on real TV. So that's that's my number 2.
Love it.
Oh yeah. And finally, at the very end, Misador, equal opportunity.
I said, I want the full immersion of the game, so that's part of it. Yes. I'll love to see it right before we stomp them in the game. That's
right.
That's what I'll go for.
Exactly. Hey, let's see. Oh, yes, absolutely. And that was going to the point that I had. About Keith Jackson doing the announcing. Go with some throwback Rose Bowl games with him announcing that. Go back to some of those. I would love to see that. And really ask the question, who is the greatest team of all time? Is it the 01 Miami? Is it, the 95 Nebraska? Isn't those great teams? Like, let's pit those up against each other and really, play it out, if you will. So I love that. Okay, go ahead.
So my last one here is that Campus Legend mode. Road to Glory has been awesome, and it's good for what it's been. But to me, I always love the Campus Legend mode where you take full control of essentially that player's life. You have to decide how much you're going to study in the week, how much you're going to work out, how much you're going to watch film. You have to do everything. And I would love the high school aspect that we've gotten from Road to Glory. Mm-hmm. I'd love that a bit advanced and then bring that into the Campus Legend mode. And just the entire, and that's that, like it was brought up earlier, you have to do the academic tests. You have to keep your grades at a certain level to be able to play at some of these schools. You have to have it very intricate and very intense. And I would love for that to be back.
I like that idea. I like that idea a lot because that's immersive. That's deep into it. And it wouldn't make you have to focus on those other things.
Yeah.
Make it realistic. Let's go. I'm with it.
Yeah.
I'm with it. Hey, and you alluded to it earlier. I absolutely want and I think need to have the upsets be celebrated. I need them rushing the field. I need the coach getting mobbed. And you see kind of a cutscene of the coach being interviewed and we did it, a whole little thing with him. I just think that, we talking about really bringing the game to the people. Like that is something that I think would really kind of, you know what I mean? Like really like, this is it. This is football. And I know this is kind of a joke, but at the same time, they don't need to go into detail, but they should say this coach was fired because of, conduct. This team can't play some bowls.
It'd be great to have those old suspensions like you used to have in the games.
Right.
And do the team suspensions and the player suspensions and do it all. Right. Go full in depth.
Why not? I mean, especially after you've had, how many years? This will be 10 years since the game. Actually, it will be 11 years because it's 10 years this year. It came out in 2013. So.
Well, and they announced the game was coming out 5 years ago. So you've had 6 years.
Yeah, there's no excuses. So you can bring some of this back, and hopefully there's some things that they're hiding. I know there's things that they've talked about they're bringing back, but I can't wait to see it. I can't wait to see it, and I'm ready. Oh,
after having this segment, I can't wait now.
Right, exactly. Yo, so hey, look, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for that. Appreciate y'all watching us. Definitely get that game. But we are going to move on. We've been talking about different positions coming since we've returning guys since we had the draft. The camps and all that stuff are starting up soon. The spring games have already happened. We are here, so we're working on all this stuff. We talked about the quarterback, running back, wide receivers, and tight end, all the skill position players. But to my guy's chagrin, we're talking about what he loves, the position he played, and we're talking about those returning top 5 offensive tackles in 2023. As we've seen this year, a number of big name offensive tackles were taken in the draft. And we know how important that position is. Alex, talk to us about this position coming back this year after all those guys left, and kind of does this live up to it? And where do we go?
Yeah, so this is an interesting class here because, like you said, so many big name guys left. And there's still a couple big time names sitting here. But from 3 to about 12, 13, 14, there's a lot of unproven guys that are really good college football guys, but we don't know what they'll be NFL prospect wise. Right. So there's going to be a lot of movement in this list. I feel like 1 and 2 are pretty set as 1 and 2. I don't think they'll move either spot. But after that, it's all up for the taking. And there's some guys that are, if you look at, for example, Big Game Boomers list, there's guys listed in the 20s and 30s that could very well be in that 3 to 10 range by the end of the season. There's that many good tackles that we don't really know how to place these guys yet.
Right. Man, yeah, I'm excited to see that. I'm excited to see who comes out and who are the guys that are moving up. And now another thing, I don't know for mostly, but not all these guys aren't all seniors. Kind of like how we did with the tight ends and all that stuff, right? Like these guys have a couple years.
Yeah, there's some of these guys that have a few years. I mean, there's some guys, Joe Alt, Olu Fashanu, that even if they're juniors, they're gone. There's no chance they stay next year. They're that good. They're gone. But there's, especially higher up on the list, there's a lot of sophomores, juniors that have that potential to come back.
Right. So we'll definitely see. Talk to me. Start off, who is your top 5 returning offensive tackles in 2023?
All right. My number 5, I've got Graham Barton from Duke. He's a guy that, as I was watching Riley Leonard a bit more, I just kind of started to notice this guy, or how little I wasn't noticing him, which as watching the offensive lineman on tape, that's a good thing. If you're not really noticing them, unless it's like pancakes, that kind of stuff, if you're getting those open lanes for the running backs, if you're getting a clean pocket for the quarterback, that's what you want to see from these guys. And Graham Barton is just a solid all-around guy. Solid pass blocker, really good run blocker. And I think he'll be a really, really good asset for Riley Leonard this year, and that Duke offense in general. Number 4, I hope I don't butcher his name. I got Sateoa Laumea from Utah.
Again,
another another really good guy, Cam Rising. He's got a really solid protector on that edge. Allows him to kind of not worry about what's going on to that side of the field as it pertains to pass rushers, and he can just kind of focus on the receivers. Very, very solid pass blocker. I haven't seen too much of his run blocking. I got to watch some more tape on him from that aspect, but one of the best pass blockers in college football, at least going into this year. I really like what I see from him. Number 3, Kelvin Banks Jr. There's kind of a
Texas.
There's a trending topic here. A lot of top quarterbacks, top tackles.
Yep.
This is no different. Quinn Ewers, Kelvin Banks, very good duo, and pretty much everything I've said about these last two you can paste in. This is where that kind of second tier ends and this first tier really begins, because it's 1 and 2 are widely separated from the rest. Number 2 for me is Olu Fashanu. I talked about him. I did one of the lineman spotlights on him, thinking he was going pro last year, and he ended up coming back, which honestly, looking at how those tackles went, was a pretty good idea. Yeah. He's very raw, but still elite. He's a solid pass blocker. Could improve a little bit in the run game, but just an elite prospect. I feel like he's going to solidify himself as that number 2 guy as the year goes on here. But number 1 and way ahead of Fashanu, even from 1 to 2 is a big gap. It's Joe Alt from Notre Dame. Yep. This guy, even with the 2 quarterbacks, even with Marvin Harrison Jr., Brock Bowers, those kind of guys, I would essentially throw him as a lock to be gone before 6, 7, 8. Ooh, wow. He's that good for me. This is day 1 franchise left tackle for me. Yep. If you're looking at NFL, he can do it all. He's elite at everything. I mean, Notre Dame always produces these good offensive linemen. Joe Alt is no exception. Prospect wise, I have him up there with the Zach Martins and Quentin Nelsons. To me, he's that good. So far and away the number 1, and probably far and away the number 1 offensive lineman in general this year. Oh yeah,
I believe it. I mean, hey, he's well talked about, and you've seen it. Like you said, like he hasn't really had a quarterback really solid, but he's been protected, and he's actually helped that team. We've seen, kind of what that team's been able to do. My 1 and 2 are similar to you. Joe Alt, obviously at Notre Dame, and then Olashanu. Say it for me again, man.
Oh, I shortened the first name. I went Olu and then Fashanu.
Olu Fashanu. There we go. Yeah. I was like, you said it so well. Oh, I get it now. Yeah. But yeah, those two definitely separate themselves from the pack. Love what you did with Kelvin Banks Jr. at 3. I would move. I'm gonna move him down 1 because of Sateo Lamua at 3. I'm gonna put him there. My 5 is Jonah Monheim from USC.
Oh, USC, yeah, I like him.
He had, I think he led the nation where he had 570 pass protection snaps without a QB hit, without a QB sack.
He was very, very good in pass pro last year.
Right, and with that kind of quarterback and that kind of passing offense, he's getting tested a lot. So I definitely think he's up there. I'm eager to see how he gets down in the run game, but with how that passing offense does, I mean, I think that definitely fits. And you talk about line and the adjoining quarterback, so that definitely is right along the lines. Where are you going after that? You talked about some guys that were a little farther down the list that are still going to be, potentially really good this year. So who are some guys that maybe people should need to be taking a look at?
So I picked 3 guys that I was looking at Big Game Boomer's list, and then I kind of compared my list. So these are guys he had in the 20s that I thought they all deserved to be way higher. And these are 3 of the guys that I was saying in the 20s and 30s that could be in that top 5 to 10 by the end of the season. I think these guys all make a case for that. and I think they all are NFL tackles next year. The first one is J.C. Latham from Alabama.
Yep.
Massive human being. Moves guys with ease. I'd like to see him move a little better, like just himself. Which, I mean, him being that big is a little harder to move as gracefully as you'd like. But if I had to nitpick one thing with him, it would be that. Zion Nelson from Miami was my other one. He was a guy that I thought was kind of a second or third round guy in the draft this past year, decided to come back, which was a very smart move for him. He's got all the potential in the world. Massive guy, good hands. He's quick out of his set, but he's inconsistent with the hands. He's got to work on that, but this is a guy that could be a first round tackle if he works on that. And then I just show love to one of my guys, Ladarius Henderson, the transfer from Stanford. He was very good blocking for Tanner McKee last year at Stanford. One of the better tackles in the Pac-12 last year. Moves to us. I was so glad to get him because we lost our left tackle to the draft this past year. So he's going to slot right in on that left side and just lock down what's been one of the best offensive lines in football the last few years.
Oh, yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah, no, I love that J.C. Latham pick, especially with the fact that I don't really know what they're doing at quarterback. And I think they're going to need time to figure that out. So him and having him as such a force there, I think is absolutely amazing. Look, I only out of spite put him this low because I do think he is higher. Like you had him on your list, Graham Barton at a Duke. I mean, look, with what Riley Leonard was doing, this guy was a stable force in there. And I'm saying something nice about a Duke player. Let's just leave it there.
Hey, I had to do it about Ohio State players all last year.
That's why I'm doing this. I'm trying to be nice like you, man. Another guy, a younger guy, the guy was a true freshman, Will Campbell at LSU.
I love that pick.
His grade was an 85.6 in pass blocking. I mean, as true pass sets. I mean, he trailed. The only guy he trailed from last year was Peter Skronsky, among Power 5 tackles. So this is the type of guy you need. 2.7% pass pressure, over 500 pass blocking snaps. I mean, this is what you and we're talking about. Pairing up with a good quarterback. You've been very high on Daniels and what he can do in Brian Kelly's offense. So he has a line to do it, and I'm looking for a breakout year from these guys. But, like you said, I'm looking down this list. There are quite a few guys. My guy Nick Kidwell at a JMU. Let's go Duke. Yeah. There's a number of guys out here. So I'm just eager to see if they can perform and, maybe hop up a little higher, man. It's a prime position. Joe Alt is going to be one of those guys that's going to come into the league and we think is going to just take off. So, I mean, what are the things that you think these guys need to have? I mean, that Joe Alt has apparently, but, what are the things that a tackle really needs to solidify himself?
So, especially going into the NFL nowadays, it's a pass-happy league. So, I'm looking mainly for the pass blocking out of these guys. I mean, obviously the run blocking has to be solid at the very least. But to me, it's that pass set. How quickly are you getting back? Because these pass rushers especially nowadays at the college level and then into the pros they've got elite quickness. Your guy Montez Sweat is one of the key examples of that. You've got to be able to get back quick. But be able to keep your body stable. You can't be throwing your whole body back trying to get there. You've got to keep your chest and your shoulders level. And it's a lot of moving your lower body and not your upper body. Right. I see a lot of these guys, and it's one of the things I hate seeing, and you'll see it all the time, is the tackles will turn. And you open up your hips. And then that just leaves. This is what got Aiden Hutchinson the majority of his 15 sacks. You cut right back in, and that's the quickest way to the quarterback. So, I mean, I was always taught, and I always teach anyone I work with, you go straight back. Because no matter whether they're coming straight at you, whether they're going way outside, you keep going straight back, they're going to run into you eventually. So, That's a massive one for me, is the keeping those hips square and that punch, especially as a pass blocker. You fire those hands and you don't let go.
Yeah.
You keep those that stone grip, and you just, if you want to pancake them, plant them, or you just lock them there. That's my favorite one to do. It's just lock them in position and they can't move. That is the most satisfying one. I know everyone talks about pancakes, but that was my number one.
Oh yeah. Oh, absolutely. Oh, absolutely. And look, ladies and gentlemen, if you didn't know, all right, I know he's not standing up right now, but my man was a force on that old line. And during the season, he even has a little segment. We got to show this. Gentlemen, did you see the form? Did you see the wide base? The hands were in the right spot. You know, his eyes were right on him.
That last one, the hands were good, but we call it, as an offensive lineman, you call it lobstering, where the elbows come out.
Oh,
we talk about squeezing whether it's a tennis ball or something, you keep those elbows locked into your ribs. Man. Yeah. But yeah, you can see those last ones I was out like this. That ain't good. Keep the elbows in.
See that? See, the best coaches know how to critique themselves. There you go. My guy. Yo, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to move on. Thank you so much for joining us. But for most of you, Mr. Scott Thaler, we know why you're here. To see the end of this tournament. We are in the Final Four, folks, and you guys have been with us. You participated. We're going to have more, so stay tuned. But as for now, we got to get into those March the mascot updates. Yeah, buddy. The updated mascot challenge, Alex. America wants to know what happened.
So I'm going to keep the one we're all waiting for the end. So I'm going to do the left side of the bracket first. I will say both matchups extremely close.
Yeah.
I almost needed you to flip a coin. I'll say that.
Ooh, okay.
For this first one, Harry and Uga versus Goldie. I almost had to have you flip a coin because Goldie surprisingly got 10 votes.
What?
Harry and Uga walked away with 12.
Wow.
It was that close, razor thin. I voted for Harry and Uga, so I was going to pull my vote. But then I saw you voted for Goldie, so I was like, okay, well, if I pull the vote, then it's still 11-9. Right. Like, we're still there. So, but yeah, Harry and Uga by a hair. Hold on. Wow. They are in the national championship, just like in real life.
Yep.
And then Osceola and Sparty had a combined 26 votes. And the other one had 22. So we got a lot of traction on these two.
Yes. Love it.
Sparty took the big time lead early on. And they held on.
Let's go.
11 for Chief Osceola and Renegade, 15 for Sparty. So
go green. Go white.
They held on. They moved on. So our national championship, and I'm interested to see how this one goes. I'm keeping my mouth shut about what I think because Osceola bit me last round. Harry and Uga of Georgia and Sparty of Michigan State.
Oh, wow.
I'm telling you, like, when I looked at this entire bracket, I did not think this would be our national championship.
No, not at all.
And that's what I love about this. So
yes,
I'll do what I did last week, kind of give you their paths. Okay. So they both had first round buys. Harry and Uga, they beat the Duke Dog of JMU. They beat Pound of Georgia State. They beat Mike the Tiger of LSU. And then they beat Goldie Gopher this past round of Minnesota. And then Sparty had the first round bye, beat Nitro of UCF. Beat the Demon Deacon of Wake Forest. I was kind of hoping That was the only round I wanted Brutus to win because I wanted Sparty versus Brutus. But Brutus couldn't get it done, so Sparty took out the Demon Deacon instead, and then took out Pistol Pete of Oklahoma State, and then pulling the upset, beat Chief Osceola and Renegade of FSU, the overall number 1 seed, in my opinion, for this entire bracket.
Wow. That is crazy. I can, hey, right in the end, baby. Let's go.
So, and what I was thinking with this, so we'll do, obviously, we'll give the winner next week, and then I'll have the next bracket ready to roll next week.
Okay. Perfect. And when you get that, let me know. Let me know, and I'm going to put this stuff together. I'm trying to do a lot of things, ladies and gentlemen. I apologize. Shows aren't getting the love they need to. But this, and you guys have showed us how much you loved it. 26 votes in the Sparty versus UGA, or against Chief Osceola, and then the UGA versus the Minnesota Golden Gopher was what, 22?
22, yeah.
22 votes. Yo, you guys are diving in, and we love it. We appreciate it. So stay tuned because we're going to have more. But for now.
And if you want your team in, I'm going to make it tomorrow night. So if you want your team in, you've got 24 hours.
There it is. I'll post this up tonight then. Perfect.
All right.
Perfect. Woo-wee. Hey, we are here, ladies and gentlemen. We are here, and we are ready to go. And we're almost at the end of the show. We appreciate you taking time. I did want to do a quick little commercial, a little promo. We have a friend of ours that's he started up a new show a week ago, and now it's going to be on Wednesday nights, I believe, at 7 p.m. Eastern. Let me see if I can go ahead and say again.
I think that's what he said.
Yeah.
I couldn't remember Monday or Wednesday, but 7 is the right time.
Yeah. So let me go ahead and see if I can get that.
Hi, this is Scott Thaller, the host of Great Scott, coming to you on Wednesday nights at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. We'll be talking about life's little mysteries and other subjects. So please join me. See ya.
All right.
Yeah, buddy. That is our guy, Scott Thaler. You've seen him in the comments. Now he's becoming a star. He has his own show on Wednesday nights called Great Scott. Still working on the moving pieces on what exactly the show is, but it's a great show. You're definitely going to want to tune in, even maybe potentially join in. I think they got a new topic. It's called Truth or Not, where he does a couple different stories that he tells. And you have to guess the one that's actually real, which tells you how many stories he tells that are a little all right. So definitely tune into that. You're not gonna want to miss it, man. He's a great guy and he's got great stuff. Loves the Rams, so if you're a Rams fan, go there. And also loves Missouri and Truman the Tiger.
They got a good tackle this year, Javon Foster. He cracked my top 10, didn't crack the top 5 though. Very good.
There we go. It's Johnny Dean, David Washington. I don't have a team in this, but I do have a bucket.
Hey, I'd rather have Sparty than Brutus.
There you go.
I'll take Sparty over Brutus all day.
All day long. That's right. Well, look, ladies and gentlemen, we're coming close to the end of the show. The game, we're down by 1 right now. We could tie it up, but no. We're going for that W. We're going for the win. We're going for 2. Yeah, buddy. My guy, Alex Loosemore. What you got today for going for 2?
All right, so it kind of goes off something that we were discussing before the show. And, I mean, it has something to do also with that 38 days left. Summer's going by so fast, man. And, I mean, I can speak this from experience. 38 days from now, my Saturdays will be taken exclusively by college football. And then a couple weeks later, my Sundays will be taken exclusively by the NFL. So enjoy these last days of summer while we got them. Go outside, have some fun, go to the lake or the beach or whatever you like to do during the summer, hang out in your backyard, whatever it is. Just enjoy the nice weather while we got it.
Absolutely. I love it. And for me, you see what the shirt says. One of my favorite shows is Golden Girls. Thank you for being a friend. Got a chance to hang out with one of my good friends and one of the hosts of Washington Football Weekly, Mr. Anton Benton, in Virginia Beach this weekend. And it was absolutely refreshing. Him and I just sat by the pool, had some drinks, just chatted it up about everything. And it was a lot about just kind of pushing each other and holding each other accountable and just iron sharpening iron, man. So, hey, reach out to all the people that are your friends. My guy, Alex, he's one of them. Every Tuesday, he's hitting me up. Are we doing it? Every Friday night, are we doing this? Yes. And I love that. I need that because that brings that structure and it keeps me going along, man. So, thank you for being a friend. Thank all of you for watching us and taking time out of your day just to be a part of this, man. We try to put on a little nice show for you, and we hope you enjoy it. And hopefully, by the sign of it, y'all are all in on this mascot challenge. So yeah. So we like that. We're listening. We're paying attention.
Yes, sir.
Oh man. Oh, wait a minute. Johnny said, I'm surprised Alex sitting in a fire suit, a gas mask with no smoke in Canada.
See, it's coming and going in waves here, so we're getting it from west of us. Yeah. And the last few days it was awful, and then we've had storms the last couple, like last night and today. So the smoke's gone, but most of the smoke they're getting, and all you guys are getting, it's from east of us still. So we're not to blame anymore. It was us for a while. It ain't us now.
Right. Oh man. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to let you go. One more program note. Stay tuned after here. Let's talk. Tales from the driver's side. Myself, Johnny Dean, Scott Dollar will be on there tonight, obviously talking about a show. I think tonight Johnny's going to talk about some of the cars that he's test drives. What are we looking for in a car and different modes of transportation. So definitely tune into that. You're going to want to see it. I will be on there as soon as I can get my phone up and running since my computer's about to die. For my guy, Mr. Alex Loosemore, it's your boy, Sean Spencer. We appreciate your time, and we will see you next time. Yay.
Hey there, ladies and gents. Your local handyman, Anton Benton, here to help you with your problems. I'm here right now on the job site, taking out whole kitchen cabinets. A little bit more work to do, but if you got a project at your house that you need to get completed, I'm your guy to finish it up for you. Give me a call, let me know what you need to get done.
Your new company, man. Shout out to your new company. Go ahead and tell the world about your new company real quick.
Oh boy. So marketing, Anton Benton Pros.
Yes.
Doing everything from plumbing to electrical to making huge decks to doing closets.
Yes.
Doing it all.
That's what's up, man. I'm super happy
Thank
for
you guys. Thank you.